Hi, my name's Beach Davis and I'm a Pensacola resident. I've lived here all my life and I've seen a lot of stuff. I lived on Pensacola Beach during Hurricanes Ivan, Dennis, and Katrina. I lost everything, had parents and family members who lost everything, and we rebuilt. On this show, we were going to showcase the departments of the city government, and how they worked for you, worked for the citizens, and how they kind of came together to make Pensacola a livable place and the great place that it is. And as you can tell by this pile of debris, the city of Pensacola and the departments within the city government have been put to the test. Join us as we take a tour of places like Piedmont Road and the Vickery Center, who was ground zero for the recent floods that we've had in Pensacola, and find out really how we're going to come back together and rebuild this town just as we've done before. I'm here with Eric Olson, Initiatives Coordinator for the City of Pensacola. We're standing right here, not in some blown out bomb shelter. We're actually in the gymnasium of the Vickery Center that was the hardest hit, considered ground zero of our major storm. Now, the Vickery Center is one of over 90 parks and community centers we have here in the city. Not a lot of people know about all the programs and services. Let's start off by talking about how vital these community programs are to Pensacola.
Right, and like you said, I mean, this is, in the Vickery Center, it was our most popular center, got the most use, has some of the biggest summer camp programs. And so this is a well-known center. We've got the pool right across the street. We've got the ball fields just to the north of us. Then we've got the Roger Scott Tennis Complex. So there are a lot of activities, as you can imagine, that take place here. The fact that it got hit the hardest of all of our community centers really, speaks to the magnitude of the event. But on the plus side of all this, it also reflects the resiliency of our community and our parks department, because all of those programs and things that we've talked about, the pool is open, they're playing baseball in the park, volunteers have cleaned up the tennis courts, they were playing tennis yesterday, and the other programs that did take place in here, as we look around, they've been able to move those to the other community centers. Woodland Heights, which is one of our newest community centers, is, it kind of gives us an opportunity to showcase we've got these other great places not that far from you. So again, I mean, it speaks volumes to probably just the men and women of the parks, the neighborhood services department, their ability to react to the situation and get people back. Kind of what we're trying to do is, let's get back to business. Let's get back to our normal way of life. Let's help the people who still need help, but we haven't shut down the city.
There are opportunities for citizens to call and find out, if their neighborhood who's been completely devastated, or if they're just unsure about what to do next. What do they do? I know they're calling the city. What is the city's role in explaining to those citizens and what to do next?
If you have an issue, the first thing we do is call 211. Just like we have 911 for a police or fire emergency, we have 211 for a human services emergency. That's the first step. Now, if you have an issue with the city, if there's a city road, lights, whatever it is, something that affects city engineering, sanitation, you've got debris that's blocking up your driveway from this storm, something like that, 311. That is the first call for help for the city. So these numbers are what we encourage every citizen to get to know, just like they know 911, because we can field those numbers or the calls at the offices, but we still rely on the professionals in the community, and the best way to contact them is through 211 or 311.
There's definitely a combined external and internal effort. You've covered very well, and we've seen the pictures of the mayor going out and city officials going out door to door to put a face with an agency, to put a face with the city government. It's so nice to hear you say that there's so much going on, guys working overtime to make sure those internal structures are in place. So thank you for all that you're doing, Eric. We're here now with Thomas, the supervisor of the Vickery Center out here, who suffered a great deal of damage after the recent storm. Could you explain a little bit about how the facility was affected, the rooms, the equipment, and kind of where we're going now with the programs?
Sure. Right now, all of our building had between 1 and 2 feet of water throughout the whole building, every room. We've lost our gym floor. It's buckled. It's completely gone. $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 floor. All the equipment in here in our weight room is destroyed except for the universal machine. Our treadmills were underwater. However, we are moving.
Now, the Vickery Center is not that old either, is it?
No, I believe it's about 95 or 97 it was built. So it's going to be nice to get all the new renovations, and we're looking forward to getting our community back because they're really excited about coming back.
Now, what room are we standing in right now in the Vickery Center?
We're in our Pilates studio. Our Pilates studio was contract provider with a local Pilates studio that comes in, rents a room from us, or actually rents 2 rooms, and they bring their own equipment in and work out with the community.
Now, this floor doesn't look too old right here, and that they're ripping up.
No, this floor was just put in approximately 8 months ago. So this brand new floor. All these mirrors are going to have to come down. They're taking a divider wall down because everything's been contaminated with the flood water.
And that was the one major health concern, is that, you know, we don't know what was mixed in that water. It could have been sewage. There could have been some septic issues in the neighborhood. So it's just really the betterment of the community just to get everything out of here. Is that correct?
Right. We have to get everything out of here because of the mold and mildew exposure or potential. So we've got to do that to make it safe here. We're looking at also taking the ceiling tiles and getting rid of those because we just don't know where the water has been or may have contaminated.
Well, Thomas, it doesn't look like anything stopped right now in regard to the cleanup, but we really appreciate everything that you do. As I asked you earlier, are you program supervisor or programs supervisor? And you do a lot of things, including right now. So you're right now overseeing a new cleanup program. So we thank you for everything that you're doing, and keep up the great work, and don't work too hard. I'm here with Matt Odachowski with Royal Plus here at what's been considered ground zero, the Vickery Center over on Summit Boulevard, one of the most hardest hit places in Pensacola. And we've got Matt here with his cleanup crew who's, right now you're currently pulling up the gymnasium floor laid just about a year and a half ago. Can you tell me a little bit about the process of what's going on right now here at the Vickery Center?
What we're doing is we're trying to prevent secondary damages, and we're mitigating the property. So we extracted all the water, got a lot of the silt out, and now we're focusing on areas where water's trapped, and such as in the gym floor. Underneath the gym floor was completely with the moisture barrier. Water was on top of the moisture barrier, and it's very important when you have to basically watch the climate. We have to maintain a relative humidity below 60%. We have portable dehumidifiers, we have desiccant dehumidifiers, air movers, and air scrubbers to protect the interior of the building.
Now, what are some things that you're doing to repair the floors there that maybe some viewers at home who've withstood some major flooding damage too? Are there some do's and don'ts that maybe we could focus on for a safe recovery?
You got to be real careful after the flood waters. You're not sure what it mixed with. And it could be sewer, it could be chemicals, and you just got to be real careful and take that to heart. I know if you go to the EPA website, it'll actually give you step-by-step directions on how to clean. One thing that you want to be careful with is mixing chemicals, and also bleach can be very dangerous if you apply. You really should stay away from bleach. Use an antimicrobial that will protect you and your family as you're cleaning.
Go ahead. How many workers do you have working today?
It's fluctuating. We've been running about 20-hour shifts. Right now, we probably have about 25 to 30 people working in the building. And we've been rotating. We've been working extremely long hours just to make sure that we get that moisture under control.
20-hour shifts is more of a team, and the mayor keeps talking about how we're all working as a team together to get through this, and it's nice to see companies come in and really want to take care of the precious gems that we have, such as our parks and recreation. Again, we said earlier that we have over 92 parks and community centers with countless programs. So I know you're doing everything you can to get this building up and running as quickly as possible.
That is correct.
I'm here with Dondi Roper, Marketing Coordinator for Neighborhood Services for the City of Pensacola. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Dondi. If you see right behind us, it is business as usual at the Roger Scott Athletic Center. The baseball field's out here. There's some practice going on merely days after our torrential rainfall that we had here. Can you tell me a little bit, is this really kind of what it's like at all the rest of the parks that we have?
Absolutely. We had a few of our resource centers that will be closed for a while because they were flooded out. But I'll tell you, the spirit is alive and well in Pensacola, and we want people to get out and play. So we had at Roger Scott Tennis Center, the courts were just devastated, and we had about 40 volunteers come out and clean courts, do whatever they could to get things back up and running. We've got all of our after school children are over at our Woodlawn Heights facility, which is a new facility, and we're excited to be able to do that for them. The show goes on, you know, even though in the matter of desperation. And I think what we're learning from the people who come out to play with us is that that's what they want and need. Yes, they can spend the day pulling carpet, they can deal with insurance, but you know what? They need that break. And so we're so happy to be able to offer that to them. Aerobics, Zumba, softball, baseball, tennis, swimming. We've got swimming lessons going on. And, you know, just to be able to have that bit of normalcy for them has meant a lot to us.
Absolutely, and we've said it before, it's a quality of life. And if there's something the city of Pensacola does very well, it's provide a phenomenal quality of life for people. I mean, you could not have asked for better weather, and it's almost a real shame, like you said, to have such beautiful weather after such a time of crisis, and people are really focusing on the recovery efforts. But, you know, I've always said, you know, if you can't take care of yourself, what good are you to take care of anybody or any other thing? So get out here, get on a trail, you know, the LEAP trail that was just built last year, you know, play a little bit of tennis, utilize the pool, utilize so many services. And how can people in this town know where to go for more information and to participate in these awesome programs?
You know, probably the best resource is to go online, playpensacola.com, on our Facebook page, which is Play Pensacola FL, because we're constantly updating that. But I'll tell you, we've got everything from senior Zumba, baby Zumba, we've got kayaking lessons, fishing camps, we've got rock climbing camps, which is really cool. Lots of different things. We have got groups who come together to play mahjong, bingo, you name it. We have lunch programs for seniors to get together, for the disabled to get together. And the important part, especially during the times of need, is don't stay home alone. You know what? Don't do it, because 9 times out of 10, if you've had damage, it could be a health hazard with mold and things of that nature. But just it lifts your spirit to be able to get out and to be with other people, to have fun, to exercise, and just be able to enjoy life. And so there are lots of different opportunities for that. You know, and Parks and Recs goes so far beyond just a couple of neighborhood associations. You know, we've got 93 beautiful parks. We've got 9 neighborhood resource centers that offer computer access. They offer libraries. They offer so many things that go beyond just sports. If you don't have the ability to go online, but yet you need to find phone numbers, you need to, you know, contact insurance, you need to do these things, then you can do that free of charge at our neighborhood resource centers.
I'm here with Andrea Krieger, President and CEO of United Way Escambia. And Andrea, you don't look tired, but I know you're very, very tired, and you do a phenomenal job with your organization. Tell me a little bit about how your past couple of weeks have been for this recovery.
Sure. It feels like weeks. It's been days and it feels like weeks. So that'll tell everybody what all of the nonprofit agencies in the community are experiencing right now. I will say our call volume is extremely high, as is all of the need that we're seeing from agency partners who directly assist clients in the community. I will also say that 211, which typically has a very high call volume, is through the roof, and we're trying to get all of the agents that we can and the specialists to sit in those seats a little longer and to capture the data so that we can roll that information up to partners who are able to assist.
Andrea, what is 211?
Sure. 211 is a 3-digit code, so anybody can get on the phone and dial those 3 numbers, and it's for anyone who is having a health or a human service crisis. When they call that line, we have a database that has about 3,000 resources in it.
Great.
And they're able, on a normal basis, they direct the callers to who can provide or meet that need. Right now, unfortunately, what's happening is the agencies in town have lower capacity or higher demand than is normal. And so it's not a matter of just directing them out to the agencies. We're having to do advocacy and roll up their information on usually about a twice-a-day schedule right now of rolling information up to the Emergency Operations Center. And then we have partners like American Red Cross or Salvation Army, United Ministries, Catholic Charities, Lutheran Services, all of those who are in the field doing direct service. They've signed off on a confidentiality agreement.
Right.
So a caller, when they call in, if they're a flood victim, and they want their information released to the partners who can provide them the assistance, we do a recorded release or agreement from the caller saying, please share out my information so you can get me the help that's needed, whether it's pulling carpets with Operation Blessing or whether it's, we're getting the Southeastern Baptists in there, whoever it may be, helping them with the volunteer needs, or if they have a food need with Manna being down right now, Manna's helping us deploy and get some of them assisted through alternate methods. So those agencies have all signed confidentiality agreement, and we roll the victim list up to them at least once a day where they can go through and call those individuals directly. Then they report back to United Way, here's what we've done to assist this caller. We were able to meet the food need or the furniture need, or we towed their car, whatever it may be, but these are the needs that are still left. So then we farm it out again and say, here's what's left. Who else can help with that? In some cases, it's allowing us to see concentration of zip codes where entire neighborhoods are impacted or apartment complexes are impacted. That's important because then as we relay that information out to American Red Cross and Salvation Army, American Red Cross is going out and doing the disaster assessments. So they're assessing the actual units for level of damage and what will need to be rolled up to FEMA. When they can see 10, 12 zip codes or street addresses that are the same, then they are able to then go out and say, we need to look at this whole area, and perhaps we need to deploy an emergency response vehicle or ERV. With Salvation Army, they're partnering together, so the canteens are roving at the same time and in the same locations as those ERVs, and they're providing the food assistance for those high impact areas where they're concentrated. What is also needed is if we have victims who are currently sheltering with family members, friends, neighbors, which is happening all over the place, which is why our shelter counts are a little lower than we would expect. And so we know that some of those temporary living or sheltering situations are going to expire. The county and EOC are working on some rehousing plans and potentially how do we assist those folks. So if they can call in and say, we are not in the shelter, but we're sheltering with a temporary solution, can you make sure that you get us captured in that database so that we can share that up with the EOC and get them some long-term, hopefully, assistance as repairs and renovations are going on.
Thank you for taking the time and letting us know all the great things that United Way does, as well as this community is working together as a team. We're going to take a look at one of the most hard-hit places in Pensacola, Piedmont Road in Cordova Park, and we're going to talk to a few of those residents who've been affected pretty adversely, and we're going to talk to them about how the recovery efforts are going. Please join us as we go down Piedmont Road. And I'm with some great folks here who've suffered a lot of damage. Christy and Braden Ball, who've been in this house for 12 years, and they're right on the corner of Piedmont and Hallmark, just really in the center of it all. Were you guys here when the storm happened? And if you were, tell me kind of that whole experience for you, Christy.
Yes, we were here. We woke up in the middle of the night about 1 o'clock in the morning. You could hear the water coming inside the house. So when I woke up, I put my feet down on the ground and felt water. The water was at my ankles and pretty much stayed at my ankles the whole entire time. There were certain parts that would come almost up to your knee in the house. Woke the rest of the family up, and my husband and I began coming up with a plan of having the availability to get into the attic and starting to save some of our furniture, picking up wood furniture, picking up things off the floor and putting them in safer places. Then about 5 o'clock in the morning, we stepped outside and there was still a river through our entire yard. And the water kept flowing until about 6 o'clock that night.
In your opinion, what is the response of our local government here, the City of Pensacola, Neighborhood Services, really trying to, get things back online for you guys? Because the infrastructure is very, very important to them because they want people to be able to move back into their homes. How do you feel the response has been, either by someone coming, talking to you, or the physical movement of dirt and roads and infrastructure going in? How do you feel about that progress?
I think they're doing great. And honestly, the mayor, he is always at our house. I mean, he's been very visible throughout this entire experience. There are a couple things that you kind of wonder about, but we really haven't had time as a family to stop and ask anyone questions. But I have been very happy with my city councilman, Larry Johnson. I've been very happy with the mayor, Ashton Hayward. I mean, they've been here on our property. Matter of fact, the mayor had to help us move a sofa. Everyone was out of the house. He came by to check and make sure everyone in this home was okay. He saw me moving a sofa and he got on the other end and helped us move it. So I think that's pretty visible.
I agree, and he has stated that, we've got to work together as a team. All the city departments, all the city government, we're working together as a team, and it's really special to see the residents helping each other out as well, and even on down to the mayor. So, but we really, really do appreciate it, guys, and I'm really, really rooting for you and for all the other families who've been affected by this storm. And thank you for having faith in the city. We're gonna get it done. Beach Davis here with one of the residents of Piedmont Road. This is Indra here, and Indra probably got the worst end of the deal with the flooding. Where she is located on Piedmont is just near Trinity Presbyterian Church, which is basically where the water kind of came down Piedmont, kind of took that turn on Tronjo and just kind of flooded out onto Bayou Boulevard. You're right there at the base of that. You talked to me earlier about how you were still awake, you heard the warnings, but you said, no, it's not going to happen.
I'm worried because we don't live in a flood zone. I don't even have flood insurance, and I live here for 20 years, and we never had anything like this. This was devastating and shocking, but I wasn't scared at first because I didn't take it seriously. In an hour, just
in 1 hour, you're inside. You've got a lot of sliding glass doors, beautiful home, beautiful view of a beautiful backyard, and you're just watching the water come up.
Yes, I just watching the water, and I said, oh my gosh, but we couldn't do anything. We were here, and I stayed here, and I went out to my car because the light came out. The water was up to here, and it was just moving me down, and I said, I better get back inside. So I held on to the shrubbery, and I went back in the house.
So you actually needed help because of the currents. People have described the water just being...
The current was rolling me down there. If I didn't hold on to that shrubbery out there, I would have been flat on my face floating down there. It was waves and waves of water.
You showed me all of your garden equipment and everything, and you like to garden.
I love to garden.
But that...
Pride and joy. It took away all my flowers and my landscape and everything. I'm a gardener. I love it, love it, love it.
And that seems to be the quality of life for you, is gardening. Yes. This is your home. Yes. Where we're standing right now is kind of a mother-in-law suite that you have built into your house. It looks it's got probably 2.5 feet of water that was in here at one point. You said people come and stay with you for weeks at a time. You said they come out of the woodwork to come visit you. They stay here. This is your home. You open it up to family and friends. What steps do you think the city now is helping out with getting?
The mayor has been very nice. The governor came down here a few times, but I didn't get to meet him. I didn't see him. And they have been so kind to me, and I'm grateful to all of them. Everybody who has helped me, I'm blessed and I'm lucky.
You don't have to remember everything all the time. You have a lot going on right now.
So if I miss out anybody names or whatever, I'm sorry. Thank all of you for helping. I appreciate it.
That's such a fantastic attitude you have, and
I have have to have a good attitude, you know. And I know there is going to be a light at the end of this tunnel. I know something better is going to happen. But when it first happened, I was selfish. I thought it was just me and, oh, how could, but I know there's a lot of people worse off than me, and I feel for them. If they have it worse than me, I feel for them, and I wish I can help, but I can't right now. I need all the help I can get.
Well, to hear you, and I'm getting a little choked up by you saying, you know, we're looking around your mother-in-law's suite, and you're saying that you're lucky. Yes. And what a phenomenal attitude to have. I've said it before.
I believe in God, and I know He's guiding me, and I know He's going to take care of me. You know, He will.
But you know that also the cities, they've shown that they're taking care of you too.
The city has been wonderful. They have been here helping me as much as they can. You know, I know they have a lot to handle. I know I'm just a needle in the haystack right now. You know. That's
wonderful. Well, Indra, and thank you for taking the time away from, I'm sure it was a nice little break to have to do some work. And I hope you can get back to gardening soon, because I did see. And you said there was a pool across the street that yours was even better. So you can't wait to get that pool back up.
Mine's is bigger than his.
And that pool will be up and running soon, Indra. With that attitude, it's going to have to. I'm here with Indra, a resident of Piedmont Road, who is really just a shining example of how attitude is going to get us through all of this. So thank you, and thank you for sharing your story with us. And this is Beach Davis here on Piedmont Road, where we're going to get back to where we were. Just as these pumps are running at the Pensacola Kid Wash at the Roger Scott Pool, so are the city services and city government of Pensacola up and running after an unprecedented storm causing millions of dollars of damage. Join us next time on The Upside of Florida as we continue to talk about the governmental services and how we're coming together as a team to rebuild Pensacola.